The clock on the wall is a witness to the crime of how I wasted every second of our precious time. It's January 2026. The world is fresh and new, but I'm still suffocating on the ghost of what I threw. I looked at the window where you used to wait for me and saw the jagged reflection of the fool I used to be. I thought I had a lifetime to make the wrong things right before I let the sun go down on our final fight. I'm replaying the movie, every frame and every line, trying to find the moment where the fault was only mine. I see the way your shoulders dropped, the way you lost your light when I chose my own pride over holding you that night. I could have said I'm sorry, I could have bridged the sea, but I stood there in the silence and I let the distance be. Now the space between us is a canyon wide and deep, and I'm paying for the secrets that I promised I would keep. And it's the heavy, hollow heartbeat of the mistake I can't undo, the I love you that I swallow when I should have said it true. I'm reaching through the timeline, I'm screaming at the glass, watching every chance of saving us just wither in the grass. It's a permanent scar on a temporary heart, the choice I made to let us fall completely apart. Yeah, I'm living in the wreckage of a life I cut in two, staring at the shadow of the mistake I can't undo. They say that time is a river, that it only flows one way, but I'm drowning in the current of a single bitter day. I trade 1,000 futures for 1 minute in the past to take back the words that were never meant to last. I'm a pilot in a tailspin, I'm a runner out of breath, realizing that too late is just a different kind of death. Yeah, it's the heavy, hollow heartbeat of the mistake I can't undo, the I love you that I swallow when I should have said it true. I'm reaching through the timeline, I'm screaming at the glass, watching every chance of saving us just wither in the grass. This permanent scar on a temporary heart, the choice I made to let us fall completely apart. Yeah, I'm living in the wreckage of a life I cut in two, staring at the shadow of the mistake I can't undo. The silent screams where laughter used to bloom, just empty echoes in this lonely room. The photo on the table tells a tale of happiness I watched inevitably fail. The future we had planned, a broken vow, just fragments of a feeling I can't find now. The mistake I can't undo. It's just me and this view. The mistake I can't undo, just the ghost of me and you. I found it in the glove box of the car I should have sold, a tattered piece of paper with the edges turned to gold. It's 2026 and the highways have all changed, the exits have been renamed and the skylines rearranged. But here's a circle that you drew around that hidden creek, where we promised things in whispers that we were too afraid to speak. I'm tracing over lines of ink that time has tried to blur, trying to find the person that I was when I was yours. The coffee shop is a pharmacy, the park is a parking lot. They've paved over the meadow where we tied the phantom knot. I drove 3 hours north today just to see if I could find a single scrap of us that the world had left behind. But the landmarks are all lying and the compass is a lie. It's pointing to a version of a person who has died. I'm staring at the coordinates of a house that isn't there, grasping at the ghosts inside the cold and empty air. And I'm holding on to the map to where we used to be, but the road is gone and the forest swallowed every single tree. I'm looking for a turn off that leads back to yesterday, but the world is moving forward in a cruel and steady way. It's a guide to a kingdom that has vanished from the earth, measuring the distance of what a memory is worth. Yeah, I'm lost in the middle of a territory free, clinging to a map to where we used to be. In 2024, we thought we knew the way. In 2025, we watched the asphalt fade to gray. Now I'm standing at a dead end with a paper in my hand, a stranger in the borders of a long forgotten land. There's no "you are here" sticker on the center of my chest, just a hollow empty feeling where I used to feel the best. Yeah, I'm holding on to the map to where we used to be, but the road is gone and the forest swallowed every single tree. I'm looking for a turn off that leads back to yesterday, but the world is moving forward in a cruel and steady way. It's a guide to a kingdom that has vanished from the earth, measuring the distance of what a memory is worth. Yeah, I'm lost in the middle of a territory free, clinging to a map to where we used to be. I'll fold it up carefully, put it back inside the dark. There's no use in searching for a fire with no spark. The destination's gone, the driver's gone too, and I'm just a traveler who can't get back to you. The map is wrong, I'm so far from home, so far from home. The calendar says 2023's a year I never thought I'd see. Without the tether of your hand, without the you inside of me. The frost is thick upon the glass, the world is hushed and white, and I'm still learning how to sleep through the middle of the night. I took your name off the emergency contact on the phone today, a tiny line of ink that took my remaining breath away. They say the first step is the hardest, but they never tell you why. It's because you're walking further from the last time we said goodbye. I finally washed the coffee cup you left beside the sink. It took me 14 months to find the strength to even blink. I'm reclaiming all the corners, I'm repainting all the holes, removing every shadow that was leaning on the wall. But sometimes in the grocery store I'll see your favorite food, and the progress that I've built just starts to wither at the root. I'm a soldier in a quiet war, a hiker in the rain, trying to find a zip code that doesn't map to pain. And it's a long, long road to healing, with no markers in the dirt, just the slow and steady rhythm of a soul that's used to hurt. I'm moving at a crawl across a desert made of years, washing off the salt from 1,000 hidden tears. It's not a sudden sunrise or a bell that starts to ring, it's just the quiet realization that I'm surviving everything. Yeah, I'm miles from where I started, but I've got so far to go on the long road to healing, the only path I know. One day I'll hear our song, and I won't have to turn it off. One day I'll wake up early, and the silence won't be rough. But today I'm just a traveler with a heavy tattered pack, proving that I'm breathing even if I'm looking back, forgiving myself for staying, for the way I let it in, being my own lover, being my own only friend. And it's a long, long road to healing, with no markers in the dirt, just a slow and steady rhythm of a soul that's used to hurt. I'm moving at a crawl across a desert made of years, washing off the salt from 1,000 hidden tears. It's not a sudden sunrise or a bell that starts to ring, it's just the quiet realization that I'm surviving everything. Yeah, I'm miles from where I started, but I've got so far to go on the long road to healing, the only path I know. I'm putting on my shoes now, I'm opening the door. The air is cold and biting, but I felt worse before. Step by step, mile by mile, I haven't reached the end yet, but I think I saw a smile. The long road, just keep walking, the long road home. The dust is dancing in a shaft of January light. It's 2020 season, the world is quiet, cold and white. I've read the Sunday paper twice, but I can't tell you a word. The only sound is a ticking clock, the loudest thing I've heard. This was the time for lazy tea and records on the floor. Now the shadows are just stretching from the window to the door. I used to love the stillness back when you were in the room. Now it's just the heavy pressure of a coming afternoon. I saw the neighbors walking by, their coats all buttoned tight. They're heading home to dinner in the safety of the light. But my kitchen is a museum of the things we used to do, like the half-filled bag of sugar and the tea that's brewed for two. I found your old sweater tucked behind the sofa seat. I held it to my face and for a second felt the heat. But the scent is almost gone now, like a whisper in the hall. And the clock just keeps on ticking on the yellow kitchen wall. And oh, it's the loneliness of a Sunday afternoon, when the silence is a symphony and the sun sets far too soon. It's the hollow in the hallway where your laughter used to bloom. Now I'm just a ghost inhabitant of every empty room. I'm bracing for the evening, for the turning of the key. That'll never happen now, because there's no more you and me. Yeah, the world is standing still beneath the pale and lonely moon, drowning in the loneliness of a Sunday afternoon. They say that Sunday is for resting, for the soul to find its peace. But I'm just pacing circles, praying for a slight release from the weight of all the used to be's. And where did we go wrong? In the middle of the quiet, where the shadows grow so long. Yeah, it's the loneliness of a Sunday afternoon, when the silence is a symphony and the sun sets far too soon. It's the hollow in the hallway where your laughter used to bloom. Now I'm just a ghost inhabitant of every empty room. I'm bracing for the evening, for the turning of the key. That'll never happen now, because there's no more you and me. Yeah, the world is standing still beneath the pale and lonely moon, drowning in the loneliness of a Sunday afternoon. The light is turning purple, they say that Sunday on. Another week is coming, but you're already gone. I'll just sit here for a minute in the darkening of the day. A Sunday afternoon that'll never go away. So quiet, so alone. A Sunday afternoon. I was checking the mailbox for a letter from May, or a postcard from places you said we would stay. It's the first day of 2020, the morning is new, but I'm still dressed in the shadows of losing you. We were solid as granite, we were deep as the sea. I was the anchor and you were the breeze, but the weather shifted without a single cloud in sight. And now I'm standing in the middle of a permanent night. I'd memorize the map of the next 20 years, the houses, the children, the laughter, the tears. I thought we were halfway through a beautiful book, but you closed the cover with one final look. There was no shouting match, no crash in a glass, just the sound of the wind through the dying grass. You said I'm sorry, like you were reading a script, and I felt the ground beneath my feet finally get unzipping. Oh, it's the end and I didn't see coming for us, a slow motion crash searching for the moment where we lost the spark. Yeah, it's the ending I didn't see coming for us. A slow motion crash into the highway dust. I was planning the sequel, I was writing the verse while you were rehearsing for the better to turn into worse. I'm a ghost in a story that's been cut at the seam, waking up, screaming from a beautiful dream. Yeah, I saw the forever, I was ready to run, but I never saw the part where you'd say we were done. The screen has gone black, but I'm still in my seat. The theater is empty, the silence is complete. I didn't hear the music stop, I didn't see the curtain draw. The ending I didn't see coming. The ending I didn't see coming. The lamp is flickering, it's 3:30. I'm staring at the spot where you used to be. It's 22 a brand new year, but I'm still chasing ghosts that are living here. I pick up the pen and I touch the page, trying to break us out of this iron cage. I'm crossing out the day you packed your bags, amending all the hopes that turned to rags. In this version I didn't turn away, I found the right words and I made you stay. The rain outside isn't cold and gray, it's the backdrop to the things we finally say. We're sitting on the porch as the sun goes down. Instead of being strangers in this hollow town, I'm deleting the silence that I'm moving on. I'm holding the sunset until the dawn. And I'm rewriting a story inside of my head, changing the ending and the tears that we shed. And the ink on the paper, we're still young and we're free, in a world where you never got tired of me. I'm burning the chapters where we fell apart, stitching the seams of a long broken heart. Yeah, the truth is a mountain I'm too tired to shred, so I'm rewriting a story in my head. In the margins, I'm drawing a house by the sea, where the ghosts of our some days are reality. There's no goodbye and there's no it's too late, just a wide open door and a swing on the gate. I'm a liar, a dreamer, a fool with a quill, trying to make the entire world stand still. Yeah, I'm rewriting our story inside of my head, changing the ending and the tears we shed. In the ink on the paper, we're still young and we're free, in a world where you never got tired of me. I'm burning the chapters where we fell apart, stitching the seams of a long broken heart. Yeah, the truth is a mountain ink starts to run and the paper gets wet as the sun starts to rise on a life of regret. The ending stays the same, no matter the line. You're no longer here, and you're no longer mine. Just fiction in my head. The story ends just like you said. The calendar flipped over to a year I didn't want, to a January morning that is cold and sharp and gone. It's 22 ECs, but I'm still dragging 24 like a ball and chain behind me as I walk across the floor. I try to lift my coffee, but my wrist feels made of stone. I try to reach for pillows, but I'm reaching all alone. The sunlight hits the floorboards, but it doesn't feel like light. It feels like a reminder of the ending of the night. I went down to the river where we used to skip the stones, but the water's moving faster than the marrow in my bones. I tried to throw a memory, but it wouldn't leave my hand. It's anchored to my fingers like a heavy wedding band. Every step I take away from you is a battle I might lose, because I'm wearing all the what ifs like a pair of iron shoes. I'm a prisoner of the maybe, I'm a servant to the why, watching every chance of freedom simply pass me by. And oh, longing is a heavy chain rattling in my chest. It never lets me wander and it never lets me rest. It's wrapped around my spirit, it's a lock without a key, binding every heartbeat to the ghost of you and me. I'm pulling at the shackles till my skin is raw and blue, but the more I try to run, the more I'm pulled back home to you. Yeah, it's a weight I can't abandon, it's a slow and steady train, living with the gravity of longing's heavy chain. That the links will fall apart, but they don't know the blacksmith who is living in my heart. He's tempering the sorrow, he's forging all the tears into something that can hold me for another 100 years. I'm a captive to a feeling that I don't even wanna own, a statue in a garden that has finally turned to stone. And oh, longing is a heavy chain rattling in my chest. It never lets me wander and it never lets me rest. It's wrapped around my spirit, it's a lock without a key, binding every heartbeat to the ghost of you and me. I'm pulling at the shackles till my skin is raw and blue, but the more I try to run, the more I'm pulled back home to you. Yeah, it's a weight I can't abandon, it's a slow and steady train, living with the gravity of longing's heavy chain. Clink, clink on the pavement, clink, clink down the hall. I'm still waiting for the silence, I'm still waiting for the fall. The chain is getting longer, but the iron's just as cold. A heavy chain is getting old. I'm getting old, but I'm still longing, longing. The digital archives are all that I keep in the blue light of 2020 seas while the city's asleep. I used to hear your laughter and the steam of the sink, but the echo is thinning. It's closer to the brink. I can picture your eyes and the way that you stood. I can still feel the ring on your finger, the grain of the wood. But the air in this room is a thief in the night, taking the one thing I can't seem to hold on to tight. I try to summon the way that you whisper my name. Was it soft at the edges? Was it sharp like a flame? I find myself humming to fill up the space, trying to find the vibration, the ghost of your grace. But it's slipping like water through a rusted old screen, a frequency dying in the spaces between. I'm terrified of the silence that's starting to grow, losing the melody of the only person I know. And it's a heartbreak I didn't see coming this way. The colors are here, but the music is fading to gray. I'm losing the low notes, the honey and the grit, the part of my soul that was perfectly lit. I'm grasping at syllables, reaching for a choice, but I'm slowly forgetting the sound of your voice. Yeah, the memory's a house where the windows are blown, and I'm losing the music, and I'm finally alone. I went to call your old number just to hear the machine, to hear the hello that lived in the machine. But the line has been disconnected, the signal is dead, and now there's just static ringing inside of my head. I'm a choir with no singer, a bell with no ring, begging for a ghost to come back and just sing. 'Cause it's a heartbreak I didn't see coming this way. The colors are here, but the music is fading to gray. I'm losing the low notes, the honey and the grit, the part of my soul that was perfectly lit. I'm grasping at syllables, reaching for a choice, but I'm slowly forgetting the sound of your voice. Yeah, the memory's a house where the windows are blown, and I'm losing the music, and I'm finally alone. Was it a lilt or a sigh? Did the eyes sound like a or a why? I'm losing the song, I'm losing the tune like a radio station that cuts out too soon. Wait, say it again, just one more time. I'm losing you, I'm losing the sound. It's January 2020 sees the first morning of the year. I'm making a pot of coffee for a ghost who isn't here. The sunlight is the linoleum in a cold and level line. Highlight in the space where your life used to tangle up with mine. I reach for 2 mugs by instinct, Then I pull my hand away. The porcelain feels heavy with the things I can't say. I'm looking at the breakfast nook, at the silence in the wood, trying to remember how a Sunday morning never felt this good. I used to complain about the way you'd always steal the news, or the way you'd leave the hallway cluttered with your winter shoes. Now I give every tomorrow just to have a mess to clean, to hear the scraping of your chair and know exactly what it means. The salt and pepper shakers are like soldiers left behind, guarding an empty territory inside my hollow mind. I'm staring at the placemat, at the floral print and lace, and the terrifying vastness of your empty hollow space. And there's a single chair at the table, a single plate on the tray, a single heart that's breaking in a quiet, steady way. I'm the only one who's breathing in this house built for two, counting all the calories of a life without you. The kitchen is a canyon, the hallway is a mile. I'm starving for the comfort of a breakfast and a smile. Yeah, the world is moving forward, but I'm frozen in the air, staring at the shadow of a single empty chair. They say that time will fill the void, that the hunger starts to fade, but I'm just getting used to the lopsided life I've made. I'm sitting on the edge of things, I'm leaning to the left, a master of survival and a victim of a theft. I'd offer you the world if you could just sit down and stay, but the vacancy is permanent, and you're a world away. Yeah, there's a single chair at the table, a single plate on the tray, a single heart that's breaking in a quiet, steady way. I'm the only one who's breathing in this house built for two, counting all the calories of a life without you. The kitchen is a canyon, the hallway is a mile. I'm starving for the comfort of a breakfast and a smile. Yeah, the world is moving forward, but I'm frozen in the air, staring at the shadow of a single empty chair. I'll just leave it there, just in case you change your mind. Just a piece of furniture that I can't leave behind. The coffee's getting cold now, the toast is turning black. One chair at the table, and you're never coming back, never coming back. Single chair. The calendar flipped over to a year I thought we'd share, but it's 2026 and your side of the bed is bare. I finally bought the glue they said would fix the porcelain, to seal the cracks and hide the marks of where the breaks have been. I'm clearing out the closet, moving boxes to the hall, but I'm still tracing ghost prints where your pictures used to fall. It's a strange and heavy labor, this reconstruction of a soul, trying to find the pieces that could ever make me whole. passing car, and for a second I forgot exactly where we are. The stitches start to pull and the wound begins to sting. I'm realizing moving on is a violent kind of thing. And oh, it's the sound of a heart that's trying to mend, like a letter that I'm writing but I know I'll never send. It's jagged and it's clumsy and the edges don't quite fit. I'm just a weary mason building walls around the pit. I'm holding it together with some wire and some pride, trying to keep the wreckage from the emptiness inside. It's a slow and steady process, a beginning and an end, in the shaking, aching rhythm of a heart that's trying to mend. They say the times are darker, that the scars will eventually fade. But I'm terrified of losing every memory we made. Is the healing just forgetting? Is the mending just a lie? A way to stop the bleeding while we watch the spirit die. I'd rather be 1,000 shards than one cohesive stone, if it means I have to face the world entirely alone. Yeah, it's the sound of a heart that's trying to mend, like a letter that I'm writing but I know I'll never send. It's jagged and it's clumsy and the edges don't quite fit. I'm just a weary mason building walls around the pit. I'm holding it together with some wire and some pride, trying to keep the wreckage from the emptiness inside. It's a slow and steady process, a beginning and an end, in the shaking, aching rhythm of a heart that's trying to mend. One more day, one more scene, waking up from a broken dream. It's still beating, it's still sore, but it's not the way it was before.